The New York Knicks defeat the Charlotte Hornets 113-92, their seventh straight victory, led by Jalen Brunson, of course, tonight. And we're here to talk to our New York Post sports columnist, Mike Vaccaro, about the Knicks win. Mike, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Ryan. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. The Knicks are doing better, obviously. And we got some news and nuggets from this past weekend. Julius Randle coming into tonight. We, heard about the news, the dislocated shoulder on Saturday's game, but then we find out OG Anunoby wasn't going to play tonight with right elbow inflammation. So how impressive was it tonight, Mike, for Jalen Brunson to put up 30 plus points tonight and to lead this Knicks team to another victory?
Yeah, it's very impressive, but not at all surprising, Ryan, because that's who he is. It's what he's been for a year and a half with the Knicks. Later on this week, I think he's going to probably be named to the All-Star team, which will right a wrong from last year, and probably right a wrong from him not being named a starter last week. He's that important to the Knicks, and he's always seems to rise to the occasion when they need him. And obviously, they needed him to be at his best tonight because they were missing Julius Randle, who will be missing for at least another couple of weeks, and for OG Anunoby. And hopefully that's only a day-to-day, one-day thing, but you never know. But it's always nice to know that you have Jalen Brunson who has your back. If you have anybody that's going to have your back, that's not a bad guy for that to be the guy.
No, you're absolutely right. 32 points, 7 assists. I mean, he was all over the floor making it happen. The Knicks are 13-2 in the month of January, and they just continue to roll on win after win, even no matter how big of a player is out of that lineup. So you also saw tonight Dante DiVincenzo, 28 points. How impressive was he to step up as well when you had, we talked about, and Anunoby not playing tonight?
Yeah, it helps and kind of embodies the Knicks plug and play philosophy, the next man up philosophy, which has already served them well this year. And look, I mean, NBA teams go through these stretches where guys aren't available, and the Knicks are uniquely qualified to survive better than most because they really do believe in the grind. They buy into the grind. They buy into playing hard every day. They want to win every game. They're not going to win every game, but they want to try and win every game. I mean, I think it was important to them tonight to make sure they didn't squander a game against a team that's not very good. And whether they were shorthanded or not, they wanted to be able to come away with a win. And that meant for guys to step up. And obviously, DiVincenzo was terrific. His shooting was great, but it wasn't just his shooting. I mean, he goes to the basket really well. He got a lot of shots for himself, and that's something. When you're looking for, if you want to replace Julius, I mean, the important thing he does is he's able to create his shots inside and outside, and you want to see that other guys can do that. I think DiVincenzo is definitely one of those guys who can make his own shots off the dribble. He doesn't just need to be set up for open threes by the other guys in the team, and that's helpful.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mike. And finally, as we look into the distance here in the future a little bit, we don't know how long Julius Randle is going to be out. So that's always been the big question: is how are the Knicks going to handle that star being out of that lineup? And Julius, like you said, is a guy who creates his own shot. And he does provide a lot of scoring for this team. So when you're looking at this Knicks roster, you could say the next man up, but Julius is a big piece. How do the Knicks handle the upcoming couple of weeks, possibly month, without Julius Randle in the lineup?
In his case, Ryan, it's kind of a misnomer to say next man up because it's going to be next men up because it's going to have to be a little bit of everybody replacing what Julius gives them. I mean, you're not going to have one guy who's just going to put in the lineup who's going to replicate what he does offensively, what he does rebounding wise, what he does as a playmaker. You need everybody else to kind of add a little something else. It's going to be interesting to see, when Anunoby is able to play, what that matters. But look, Precious Anunoby played terrific tonight.
Yeah.
He was a big deal today, and he wasn't necessarily a guy that was going to be part of the immediate solution, but he stepped in when Anunoby was hurt. And look, I think that just embodies what the Knicks are. I mean, they look very different today than they did in the last couple of games when they beat the defending NBA champion and the runner-up back to back at the Garden and smoked them both times. I mean, tonight was a very different looking team. And I get it. Charlotte's so bad they should probably be relegated. But look, I mean, we saw the Pistons beat the Thunder the other night. You know what? There are teams that are often vulnerable for off nights, and it just seems the way the Knicks approach things with their, believing in the grind and the working hard every night and trying to win every game. They're less vulnerable than some teams, and so I think it's going to serve them well. Look, I mean, they're not going to win every game across the stretch, and forever how long they miss Julius, there are going to be nights when you say to yourself, if only they had Julius. But look, I mean, I think they are as equipped as you could possibly be to be able to sustain this loss, especially in the short term.
Yeah, it's a great point by you, Mike. We're obviously a lot of Knicks fans are going to be looking forward to see how this team adapts. And like you said, next men up, whoever it is, will it be Anunoby, hopefully returning maybe tomorrow night. But Mike, we appreciate you just breaking down the Knicks win and giving us your insight about this team, man. Appreciate you as always.
Hey, Ryan, it was great talking to you. Have a great night.
You too.